Hi, this is task 10, and this task has three parts. The first part wants us to create a two-dimensional array with 7 row and 8 column, and wants us to create some random integers between 15 and 77, and we will input these values to inside of these arrays. That's the code. First, I create a class and a function, and then I declare a two-dimensional array with example matrix name, and then I write a for loop, two for loop. This allows us to travel inside of this two-dimensional array. And in this part, we are creating random integer numbers between 15 and 77. And in this part, okay, with this part, I am printing a blank for a better view. And also in this part, we are actually printing this. Let's say print. With this, we are going to a new line, but we are allowed to write that in that form too. So they are same thing. Let me show it. Past time a dot. Okay, when I run that code, it will create a 7 row and 8 column. And all of these numbers are randomly created in my code. For task 10, okay, in this part, we will create a 3-dimensional array. I write this part. So what does it mean is what that two means is create two array inside in a array, and then with this three create 3 arrays too for each of these 2 array. And this 3 means is create 3 space that can store integer values. And okay, this is the scanner object for getting input from the user. And now in this part, I create 3 for loop because it is a 3-dimensional array. And for traveling inside of this array, I need 3 for loop. In the last loop, inside of this last loop, I write most of my code. This is the important part for this code. This line is for my message. I will give information to user in which position is he. It says, please input the value for some array. I used format method in here. So what that means is, let's say in the beginning, it will be 0, 0, 0. So the user will understand he will input a value for this part. And after that, it will be increased to 1, 0 to 1, and it will be 0, sorry, 0, 0, 1. So these are 4 positions. And in here, I will display the message. In here, I create the message, and in here, I will display the message. And in this line, we will get the input from the user. So, name of the class dot function. And when I run this, okay, it says, please input the value for some array 0, 0, 0. This wants us to input a value for here. So I can say 1. And it increased, and it's asking a new value for here. I can say 2. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be something like 88. And now it is increased 1, this part, because that there are three places inside of that array, and after that it will go to this part because of my for loop. And this is the position named 0, 1, 0. And I can say 66. Then the position goes here. You can think that as a cursor. And I can say 50. And it is going on like that. It is increasing, increasing, increasing until 1, 2, 2. You will see. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 1. And this is the last one. Now, my code stored these values inside of that 3-dimensional array. For achieving these, for getting these values, we can create a new code line. But this code is for just storing these values inside in a 3-dimensional array. And this is the part C. And in this part wants us to, okay, it gives us some numbers, the distances between the cities. And these values are inside in a 2-dimensional array. Let's say this is the position 0. You can think this part 0 and this part 0, 0, 0. This is 0, 1, 0, 2, and 0, 3. And then I create a string array. Istanbul, Ankara, Izmir, and Antalya inside of this array. And then I declare the other variables. And then I create 2 for loop. And inside of this second for loop, I create an if block, 2 if block. One is for checking the minimum value, and the other one is for checking the maximum value. It is getting the values in here one by one, and it is checking if this value is bigger than 0 and smaller than the minimum value that is given before. After all of these things, I'm displaying a message in here. The first one is for the first one saying the minimum distance is that, and it is between these trees. And the second one is for the maximum distance. Let me run this code. First, I will write the name of the class, which is task time C. Then I will put a dot and write the name of the function that I write before. Task time C is the distance function. And when I run this one, so give me the minimum distance, which is, it says Istanbul to Ankara, and it is 455 kilometers. And the maximum distance is Istanbul to Antalya, and that is 694 kilometers. Okay, thank you for listening.